remove your lower link stock and install the Jank link with some slick honey. Install the links in and make sure that it lines up with these end caps on the other side. Sometimes I find it helps to lay the bike down and then line up this visually, and then you can just slide them together like that. Then reinstall the end caps with a very light amount of torque. You don't want to over tighten those. They're just preload. Then you're going to want to tighten down the pinch bolt to the 10 Newton meter torque spec. Next, we're going to install the Clevis and also the ProChip here. So first you're going to want to remove the upper shock bolt. With the upper shock bolt removed, we're going to lower the bike gently until we expose these Clevis mounting bolts. And the nice thing with the longer link installed first is that we can access these bolts without having to take everything apart. So we're going to do that. So we're going to loosen these up. Now with both of the Clevis bolts removed, we can take out our shock. Now I'm going to remove the Clevis from the shock. I realized that this shock, I actually have done something different to the shock hardware. So I'm going to show you on this shock, which has the stock DU metal bushing style hardware. This has like modified Fox hardware that has been sanded down. So you're not going to see this type of hardware. You're going to see this type of hardware. And for installing the ProChip, we're going to replace that inner aluminum hardware. And then we're also going to not have to use one of the spacers because the ProChip has this little tab that locates it. So we're just going to use one of the spacers. The ProChip works by locating itself into the Clevis using the tab, and that allows the ProChip to not rotate, which normal offset shock hardware would rotate to the wrong direction. So that's why I made it. So with the stock hardware removed, you're going to be left just with the DU bushing, and then we're going to install the ProChip. So we're going to install the ProChip in this orientation. Once the ProChip is pushed all the way in, you're going to put one of your spacers back on this side. There it is, fully assembled with the spacer installed and in the correct orientation. Now we're going to install the Clevis on to the shock. Make sure to use grease or anti-seize on the titanium bolt per Ibis's recommendation. And then tighten the bolt to spec, or just tight enough that you can then torque it to spec when installed in the frame. So now we have our shock with our ProChip and our new Clevis with the notch on the bottom. And we're going to install that. Here we are, sliding the Clevis into the rocker as so. I'm doing it this way because I've found it to be the easiest without having to disassemble everything. But of course, there are different ways you could disassemble the bike. There we are. I switched to this RockShox just because This is a borrowed bike and I was using my shock, and now we're switching it back to the owner of the bike's shock. Thank you, Tom. So now it's time to reinstall the Clevis mounting screws. So I'm gonna do that. So now I've installed the Clevis mounting bolts and torqued to spec. So now that we've got the shock with the new Clevis installed, this is the old one, we've got the new one there. Now we have to let the air out of our shock. So now I'm gonna let the air out, and you'll see the shock is a little shorter, which is what we're looking for. And now we can lift up and put the upper shock eyelet in its position, and we can install our upper shock bolt, and then we can re-inflate our shock. If you're using a coil shock, you'll have to use the preload to get that shortening of the shock to install, and then adjust the preload on the coil back. It's just because it's pretty much maxing out here, and so we need that extra room to get the shock in, and then we can get it back to full length. And then you're going to want to set your shock pressure to be about 5 to 10 psi higher, or about 3 to 5% higher, to account for the added leverage of a longer chainstay. And there you have your Jank link. This is the Plus 13, but the same applies for the Plus 8. And you're ready to ride. Here I've got my shock back on without the ProChip. And then here is the shock with the ProChip. Both valid options. The ProChip just slightly raises the geometry of the bike. Obviously it effectively lengthens your shock by about 2 millimeters. So good option here. And then of course the ProChip also works on the Ripmo to give the Plus 13 millimeter option a stock bottom bracket height, or if you want a higher BB height, you can run it on the Plus 8. And yeah, just gives some tuning. But I prefer the Plus 13 with no ProChip personally. But yeah, plenty of options to play with.